Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. I did.
Ginger Runner.
What's up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another GingerRunner.com review, and you have been asking for this one for months. In fact, I've got two reviews for you today, both from Newton. You are currently watching my review for the Newton Distance 3. Oh yeah, that is a beautiful shoe. But as I said, I'm reviewing two shoes today, so you can stick around and watch the Distance 3 review, or you can click right here, just click that shoe, and you can go watch the Gravity 3 review. I'll give you a couple seconds to decide. You can either stay or click. 3, 2, 1. You're staying. Welcome. All right, so first of all, Newton has had these shoes out for a while now. Both the Distance 3 and the Gravity 3 have been on the market. Any of you, I'm sure, probably already own this shoe or have been waiting for the Ginger Runner's review of these shoes, so I'm glad you waited. But Newton has gone back to the drawing board and decided to do something crazy. They added an outsole lug. That's right, so now we have 5 lugs on the bottom of these particular shoes, and I love it. They've also changed a lot of things, especially with the upper, a lot of the manufacturing processes, and it is absolutely apparent, and I think it is all for the positive. There's only a couple things I dislike about this particular shoe, but I make an interesting note at the end of this review, so stick around for that. It's really the best way for me to relay my experience in the Distance 3 to you is to just get out of the review and tell you the things I like and dislike about this particular shoe. Things I like: 5 lugs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love that there are 5 lugs on the bottom of this shoe. It's nice because it's a beautiful, stable platform from Newton. I didn't think that the 4 lugs were bad at all. In fact, I had a number of years running in the Distance with the 4 lug system and just loved it. But the fact that they added that 5th really reminds me of the Energy NR and that positive experience I had from that shoe with the 5 lugs. While the action reaction technology is completely different in this shoe from the Energy NR, the 5th lug adds that additional stability that you need from side to side. Love it. The upper in this shoe is great. It's super breathable. It's that nice open mesh that we've come to love from the Newton Distance shoe. I will say that this mesh is a lot softer than earlier versions of Newton shoes, so it's nice to see them really incorporate materials that will work well with a barefoot or a lightly socked foot. I think I just created a term. But they really minimalize stitching as well. The welded overlays really contribute to the shoe staying light. The toe box. Now this is something I really love about Newton shoes. The toe boxes tend to be a little bit on the wider side, which is great for toe splay. And the last couple generations of Newton shoes have this wonderful material on either side that stretches. It actually allows your foot, if you have a little bit of a wider forefoot, to stretch out into these panels. Helps that toe box stay nice and wide and breathable. The looks of this particular shoe are awesome. I have to say that I'm a big fan of the new line of Newton shoes. I think they're bright. I think they're really colorful and fun. They didn't take a ton of risks. They kind of stayed with their traditional color palette, which has always been really bright, but I'm a big fan of that. And not just the looks of these particular shoes, and especially the Distance 3, but the details. The laser cut welded overlays are really smart. There's just a really nice polish to all the new Newton shoes, and I'm a really big fan of reflective material all the way around. I mean, just so many little details. Heel drop. 2 millimeters, nice and small. They stayed true to the Newton Distance of yesteryear and kind of kept it a small heel drop, 2 millimeters. I'm assuming that's also with the lugs indented. Really helps this shoe feel more like a racing flat, more like a racing shoe, nice and low profile, low to the ground, and really insists that you have good form and a good running gait moving through this shoe. Lateral heel rubber. There's a little patch of rubber right here on the lateral side of the foot, and I have to say that is a wonderful addition to the shoe, and actually, it's helped make this shoe my favorite from the new Newton line. And I'll get into that in a little bit. And finally, flexible. Like the Gravity 3, the Distance 3 remains extremely flexible. I'm a big fan of how flexible these shoes continue to be, despite the fact that there's this huge lug system going through the midfoot. I said it in the Gravity 3 review, and I'll also say it here, what if they incorporated a flex groove right through the middle of those lugs so the whole shoe flexed right there through the midfoot? Can you imagine? Huh? Possibly. Okay, so obviously there's tons of good things that I like about this particular shoe. Very similar likes to the Gravity. They're a very close shoe, but there are a couple of dislikes. As with the Gravity 3, I think that the break-in period on this particular pair of shoes is too great. Now, I've put a lot less miles on this shoe compared to the Gravity 3. I'm actually really kind of keen on using this as a race shoe, so I've used it for some shorter distances, but it gives you the exact same sensation as the Gravity 3. So a big problem I had with that shoe is also translating over here, and that's that the break-in period on these particular lugs and that forefoot system is a little bit long. It's a little bit harsh. I don't know if it's the rubber that's used in the lugs themselves being a little bit stiffer, a little bit denser, or if it's the membrane itself also being a little bit stiffer, or a combination of the two. But breaking in these shoes will take time. It took me about 40 miles in the Gravities to really begin to feel that pop. I haven't quite felt the pop yet in this particular pair of shoes. It's obvious that the system in this shoe is the same that's in the Gravity 3, so I just anticipate that happening. I'm just bummed that the break-in period for this new lug system takes a little bit longer than previous versions of Newton's. It doesn't quite pop right out of the box like previous versions did. Price, $155, this particular shoe. That is $20 cheaper than the Gravity 3, which I like, but it's still $155. I know eventually you'll be able to get them on sale, but in the meantime, you have to save up a pretty penny to be able to afford a pair of these types of shoes. Now the argument out there, but the shoes last for thousands of miles. Yes, I'm sure they do for people who have a nice, perfect running gait, but for those of us who maybe weigh a little bit more, have imperfections in our running stride, the shoe won't last as long. So you're still spending a lot of money for one pair of shoes. And finally, sizing. This is something that's been going on with Newton since day one for me, and that's that I don't wear an 11 in Newtons. I wear an 11.5, and that is just across the board, and it's been that way since the beginning. I wish they would size their shoes true to size. So that's actually it for things that I dislike about the Distance 3. What a review, huh? Let's get on with the points. Quality, 4 out of 5. I think the quality of these new Newton shoes is great. I really like the attention to detail. I like the design. I like the upper a lot. I think that the new midsole, EVA, and outsole in combination, they really work well together. I think the new lug system is awesome once it's broken in. Comfort, I'm gonna say 4 out of 5, borderline 3 out of 5. It is because of the same reason as in the Gravity 3. The lug system takes a long time to break in, but you just have to get used to it. Once you start breaking that membrane in, it starts feeling a lot better and more like the Newton I have come to love. Price, I'm gonna give them a little bit better score than the Gravity, 3 out of 5, though at $155, it is still a very expensive shoe. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because I know that these shoes will last a long time. I still have some of my original Newtons in my closet from when I first started running in them, and they still could be run in. And finally, looks, 5 out of 5. Same as the Gravity 3. I think the Distance 3 is a great looking shoe. I think the alternate color version of the Distance S is even better. The new 2014 Newton line, they look great. They stay true to their original self, which is nice and bright, really fun, playful colors. I think the women's line is really good looking colors. I wish some of those colors would translate over to the men's line, but the shoes are dynamite. 5 out of 5 looks. That brings our total to 16 out of 20 for the Distance 3, which is a better score by 1 point over the Gravity 3. And why is that? That is because I feel that this particular shoe is a better purchase for your money than the Gravity 3. With the addition of the rubber to the lateral side of the heel, you're gonna get far more wear out of the shoe than you would expect. It's a lighter shoe, it's 7.5, 7.8 ounces. It's more breathable. There's just a number of features that make this shoe a better purchase, in my opinion, than the Gravity 3. If you're looking to put a ton of miles on a shoe and you're looking for a trainer, I think this is a good trainer. While they might market it more as a fast racing flat version of the Gravity, I think this is the trainer version, and I think the MV3 is the potential racing flat. You can train and race in this all day long, and I think that's what makes this the seller trust. So speaking of Gravity 3, if you are done watching the Distance 3 review, which is fine if you are, why don't you go check out the Gravity 3 review? All you have to do is just click it. Click that shoe. 3, 2, 1. But you've decided to say, so I appreciate that very much. What do you guys think of the Distance 3? Have you run in it? Do you own a pair? Have you raced in it? Let me know in the comments below and let me know what you guys think about this particular shoe. I think you will dig it if you have not already. I'm talking in a high voice because I can. And be sure to like, favorite, and share this video or the Gravity 3 video. Make sure that people know that, hey, this Ginger Runner guy is speaking the truth about shoes. And be sure to subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/thegingerrunner. I'm also on all the social networks, over on Twitter @thegingerrunner, over on Facebook, facebook.com/thegingerrunner, on Instagram @EthanNewberry, and of course gingerrunner.com for all things grape and ginger. And do not forget that every single Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I am doing a live show where you get to tune in, watch me live, interact with me in the chat room, and even interact with our special guests. We've got some really big special guests coming up in the future weeks, so don't forget to tune into that show. And it is also available for download over on iTunes in podcast form for, those moments when you need to listen to my voice while you run. I will follow you and speak through your ears into your head and hopefully make you faster because you want to get away from my voice. That's it, everybody. I hope you're getting out there, training hard, racing harder, and partying the hardest. I know I am. In the meantime, train, race, beer. We'll see you guys next week for more videos. Goodbye.